All right, so we're going to go over your A2P and 10 DLC registration. So the A2P is your application to person, and your 10 DLC is your 10-digit loan code compliance. This registration is to help you improve your message delivery rates and reduce chances of messages being flagged as spam. It establishes a reliable communication channel with your customers. It ensures compliance with regulations governing the A to P messaging. It builds trust with your audience through compliant and trustworthy SMS communication. And it also protects your business by validating the identity of callers and preventing impersonation by spammers and scammers. So I'm going to show you how to set this up and get everything registered. The registration process also may take a couple of days to get approved. So let's just go ahead and get started. All right, so you're going to go to, right now we're on our dashboard. So if on the left-hand side here on the menu, we're going to click on settings. And then we're going to go to phone numbers on the left-hand side. And then we're going to go to, at the top here, we're going to click on Trust Center. All right. So as you see, we have not registered yet, but this is the screen that you will see first. All right. So I'm going to scroll down and then you're going to click on this blue button down here at the bottom. It says Start Registering Now. All right. So it'll bring you to this page. All right. So at this point right now, we're just going to make sure that we read the questions and we're going to click through what is applicable to us. So right now, they already have everything defaulted in the system. So is the business entity you're registering located in the US and or Canada? Yes. Does the business you're registering have a tax ID? If you do, click yes. If you don't, click no. We're going to go through yes, that it has a tax ID, and then we're going to click continue. If you don't have a tax ID, it'll still take you through the same process, so don't worry. All right, so now it brings us to the business details page. You're going to make sure that everything on this page is correct. All this information should be on here from your business profile that you filled out prior to this. So let's see here. The only information that we need to pull in is the business registration number, which is also your EIN number. So I'm going to go ahead and enter in my information, and I'm going to hit continue down here at the bottom once I enter this information in. All right, so now we're on the business address page. You want to verify that the information on this page is correct. If it's not, make sure that you fix it. We're going to hit continue. All right, now we're going to verify that our authorized representatives information is entered in correctly as well. So we're going to edit anything that is not correct. All right. And we're going to hit continue. All right, so here we're going to determine which brand type that we're going to use, the low volume standard or the high volume standard. If you're expecting to use more than 6,000 segments per day, then I would suggest using the high volume standard. I'm going to use the low volume standard in this case because I don't expect to use more than 6,000 segments a day. So I'm going to keep it defaulted on the low volume standard. And then I'm going to click I acknowledge the brand campaign registration one time. A fee of $20.95 will be charged. The campaign fee will also be charged in case of campaign failures and resubmissions. Additional campaign fee up to $12 per month will apply in accordance to TC our rules for both failed and approved campaigns. All right. So we're going to click that I acknowledge that. We're going to click continue. You'll see where you have your campaign details that asks you about your campaign use case. We're going to make sure that it says low volume mixed. And then we have use case description, the sample message number 1, and the sample message number 2. Okay, so I'm going to scroll back to the top here. For the use case description, on mine, I have my website name, I explain that it has a lead form on the home page and the About Us page. And I tell that both forms have an opt-in disclaimer checkbox informing leads, excuse me, when they submit their email address and phone number, that they may receive a SMS message as related to filling out the lead form to receive more information about the company's services. The campaign will be used to reach out to customers who opted in to receive promotional and notification SMS from Digital Transaction Solutions. And then I have on the footer of the website itself are the terms and conditions and the privacy policy. Now, so let's review this for a second. You need to make sure that you are explaining that you have your lead form, where your lead forms are located on your website. And then there should be an opt-in disclaimer checkbox on this form as well, too, because you are collecting email addresses and phone numbers. And if you are sending out SMS messages to that, then that needs to be put on this section, because this is going to be attached to your phone number that you are receiving from 360. So in order to get it verified, you need to make sure that you have the reasoning for you sending out the SMS messages. All right. So the next section is about the footer. The footer having the footer on my website having the terms and conditions and privacy policies. So you need to make sure that your terms and conditions and privacy policies are located on your website. Now they can either be on your website or on your form, either or, as long as you list that information in this description box and it's actually there and the links are working, because they will check. All right, so let's go to the next section. Sample message number 1 has your lead name, your business name, your name, and the opt-out language. For here, it's just a sample. I put, "Hi, John," and then I state my name, my business name, and then this is just some sample message that they would receive. You can see that message here as well too. If you click on the see example link on the right hand side, you can just click one of those. That's fine. And then for your sample message number 2, same thing. Just make sure that when you have your reschedule link on here, which is I have my reschedule link, that's an actual legitimate link. To be able to book an appointment for you. If that's on your website, that's what you would put. Just grab that link and input it here. And you need to make sure that you have a stop to unsubscribe in this message too, and make sure it's in the message number 1 as well too, because they need to have that option to be able to unsubscribe. These examples are also on the section to the right as well too, when you click on see example, the hyperlink. All right. So we're going to make sure that these are checked. That's as a default. So you shouldn't have to do anything extra. And then when you hit continue, we'll go to the next section. This is for the user consent. I just have that I'm really explaining for the how to lead or contacts consent to receive messages. You're just explaining again how the leads opt in, where they're opting in at. So this was really just talking about where my leads where my lead forms are located at on my website. So leads opt in by visiting. Here's my website with the backslash forward slash about, and then the same for if it's on the homepage. I have my homepage listed as well too. And then I explain how they fill out their details on the form on either page. And then that checkbox, I explain that checkbox once again as well too. And that's how they provide their consent, by checking the box. So the next section is the opt-in message. The opt-in message has to have your business name and your opt-out keyword. All this is just explains what my message says. You can also grab this from the example as well too. That should work. Just make sure you're explaining as well to the confirmation message. All right. And then here, after this, you'll make sure that you hit submit. Make sure that you hit the acknowledge button as well too. Hit submit, and then you should be good to go from that point on. I'm not going to hit submit here because mine is already approved. So I'm going to show you what it looks like after you get approved. Let's go back to the Trust Center so you can see it. Both of these would be checked green. Now the brand campaign, I explained this in a different video, that this one probably should take within a few minutes possibly to get approved, maybe up to a day. Now the campaign will take you up to 2 weeks. So be patient with that. If you did not get approved, just come back and watch this video again and make sure that your structure of your sentencing is somewhat similar to what I have. Also, it will tell you as well too on the campaign why it was not approved. If you click on this link, it'll say not approved or something to that effect. And I believe it will be grayed out. But there will be a link here for you to click on if you weren't approved that explains why you weren't. So it'll explain the sections basically. So you can go back into your campaign that you submitted and go to that section and just make sure you can go back and forth between the information that you submitted and this video to make sure it at least kind of aligns to what you have. You also need to make sure that you have your terms and conditions and your privacy policy on your website as well too. That definitely helps.